Today we are going to look at omnibus issues, particularly British ones from the early 20th century. An omnibus issue is a series of stamps that is issued in a lot of countries at the same time, particularly throughout an empire and its colonies. It should not be confused with a joint issue, which might only be issued in two different countries or possibly three in some regional variations. An omnibus issue would normally be issued in several countries and possibly as many as dozens, all issued on the same day and all having approximately the same design. The first omnibus issue was done in 1898 by the Portuguese Empire. It was to celebrate the 400th anniversary of Vasco da Gama's trip to India. From then, there was a significant gap until the 1930s, when France and Britain both issued new sets of stamps. France in 1931 did a colonial exposition series in 26 of their colonies. In 1935, Great Britain issued a very large set of omnibus stamps. It was for the silver jubilee of the reign of King George V. It was issued in 59 different colonies and dominions. One of the designs is considered by many to be the nicest stamp issued by Britain. For the Jubilee design, there are three basic divisions. The first is Great Britain and its foreign post offices in North Africa had the same design. The dominions, like Australia, Canada, and India, tended to do their own design. There was no commonality among these types. The remaining colonies, over 40 of them, had the very popular Windsor design. You might notice too, there's a considerable range of colours in this series. It seems common that the British Empire was expanding past the standard colours that had been used up till that point. The stamp itself is very popular with people who specialise in small variations in design. There has been quite a few flaws found, such as Windsor Castle having what is referred to as the extra flagstaff and other errors like that. I'm going to skip past the next major issue, which was the Coronation issue, and go on to the 1946 Victory issue, sometimes called the Peace issue. These were issued in 1946 following the end of the war the previous year. 62 countries issued a total of 164 different stamps. Most of them showed the Houses of Parliament in London and King George VI in the corner of the stamp. Other countries, like Australia and India, issued their own designs. One notable example is the Hong Kong issue, which has a very ornate design and includes the Latin word resurgo. This means to rise up again in Latin. In 1948, there was the silver wedding anniversary of King George VI and Queen Elizabeth. 69 countries were involved in a total of 138 different stamps. This was an unusual issue. They were done in pairs, with the low value being the standard letter postage, but the other value was much higher, and typically that used for parcels. As the following year, 1949, there was another large set issued by Britain to mark 75 years of the Universal Postal Union. Most of the 78 colonies and dominions issued a set of 4 with the same design, but always there was some exceptions. It's notable that many other countries outside the British Commonwealth also issued stamps to commemorate the UPU, as it truly is an international organisation. In 1953, a large set of stamps was issued to commemorate the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II. Over 100 countries each issued a single stamp that varied only in colour and face value, depending on where it was issued. A few other countries used their own design and may have had more than one stamp issued. I'm going to finish with two much smaller sets that were only issued in a few Caribbean nations. They are the University Series, issued in 1951 to honour the University College of the West Indies. And the last is the series of West Indies Federation stamps, issued in 1959. While these are both a much smaller series than the others we have discussed, as they are issued in multiple countries, they tend to be included in the definition of an omnibus series. I'm just going to go quickly through a few more of the various series that were issued by Britain post-war. Each of the previous mentioned sets could warrant their own video, but to keep it short, I will round off here by showing some honourable mentions. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear your comments on this series. All the best and happy collecting.